Most of you are familiar with this situation, so I'm going to keep this intro very short. But last night I uploaded a video debunking 2 of Hazardish's videos, and now you're up to speed. I have today with me the man himself, Hazardish. Do you want me to just start talking and I'll just tell you when to talk?
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful.
Okay, no worries. So the evidence presented pointed towards you faking 2 videos, and people are now showing that cheats were used on a third as well. So the ones that I covered were the VTOL video and the single tank Tylo video. And the third one that's now come to the surface is the 3 Mun landing video.
Yeah.
Now, the 3 launches to Mun wasn't actually discussed in my original video, but people very quickly pointed out a part of that video which shows an engine burning for a significant amount of time with no fuel depletion, which is a pretty categorical piece of evidence that the fuel cheat was active. So that's what we wanted phoning to talk about.
Okay.
So focusing just on the 2 that I called out on first,
Sure.
Were the tilt wing and single tank Tylo videos fake?
Yeah, they were.
And how did you fake them?
Well, went into the config files and edited them to make the mission possible, to be honest.
So the burning question, and I think the one that most people are wondering, is why did you do that?
Yeah, well, the touring one, people have been asking for the video for ages, and I just really wanted to make something that I thought would look cool and give the fans what they wanted. And I made the video a year ago, and I don't know what had happened then. Maybe it was a mod, maybe I'd changed it and not realised, but I built it and it worked. And I thought, this is great. I made the video and I showed how to make the mechanism. I thought I was really proud of that. And at the end of the video, you see it flying off and it says, stay tuned to see this in another video. And as my subscribers know, I didn't make that video for ages because I got busy with other projects. When I finally got around to doing the tilt wing video, I realised it didn't fly at all. And that's obviously because the version has changed. That was like several versions ago. And I thought, I'm too deep into this now.
But in the build itself, the nuclear engines and the Rapiers have different statistics to what they do in the stock game. So in the original tilt wing time lapse, did the plane fly properly then, with stock parts?
I think so. That was almost a year ago. As far as I'm aware, it did. I wasn't consciously cheating in that video.
But, I mean, the Rapiers and the nuclear engines in that time-lapse were modified engines.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, really. I didn't intentionally do so. I might have modified them for another thing and then forgot. But I didn't intentionally modify them for that video. That was on a save that had loads of other things going on. I must have just built it and then thought that it flies without checking these parts completely how they are.
Don't take anything that obviously I did call you out, but I don't intend. This isn't me trying to make a hit piece on you, and I certainly do not condone the response from some of the more.
Some people have taken it really seriously. Yeah, I've had some hurtful messages sent to me like privately, and that's not fun. But
no,
I mean,
in your defense, I should have anticipated this. I think I gave anonymous children on the internet a little bit too much benefit.
You armed them with some nice pitchforks, but I completely get that it's all warranted because, it's not what it was advertised.
I think the one that people are more upset about is the Tylo one, because this was obviously made as part of a challenge.
Yeah, that was a challenge, and I really regret the fact that I submitted that, just because it's not just a video I've made on my own, like my own channel, my own content. This is I've submitted this along with other people entering the same challenge, and so it really detracts from what they have done, and I completely get that that's not good. Essentially, that one was I'd spent a long time trying to get it doable, and it was so close to being possible. And I'd spent a lot of time on the practices, like landing that thing at high speed to save some delta V took so many attempts. Basically, the amount of time I spent on that video, I just thought, I don't want to waste it. And so I just sort of kept modifying the nuclear engine in order to make it work. And that's awful. I admit that, but that's why, just because I'd spent a lot of time on it and thought I want to see it finished. But of course, that's not excusable.
So this is the Tylo and the Lathe ones, and this was the only evidence that I submitted. And now we have the triple Mun landing video.
This is the most annoying part about the whole thing. Everything is fine right and to the bit that people mentioned around, I can't remember exactly, around about the 8-minute mark, and you can see that I'm using infinite fuel. And that is the most annoying thing, because I was just doing tests to see how the landing worked, because obviously the point of that video is you land at the same spot over and over again, so you can collect flags from the capsule. And I was really happy with that was going, and I was just using that to gauge sort of when I need to do the burns to land and how I'm going to get the path down the descent really nailed. And I must have just left it on. And later I realised, when I was producing the video, that it didn't go down at all, and I just continued the mission forgetting. So that was just the thing. You can see, and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to completely excuse myself, because I used the debug menu, but you can see I ditched the thing with extra fuel. The mission plan was to do the landing, obviously not use the infinite fuel.
And in your defense, the rest of the mission worked, which is why we kind of were a bit shocked when this came out.
I know. This is the most annoying bit. And also, let me just say, a Kerbal and the EVA pack has 600 meters per second of delta V. And you can see that the burn that I used the infinite fuel on has 500 meters per second of delta V. And so the plan was originally to get out and push for the last bit. So I pushed the heat shield into impact with the atmosphere, so that I land and do the mission without any fuel, like in the EVA pack. And I used that as the final bit for the mission. But when that didn't happen, I realised I guess I must have just been more efficient than I thought, because I didn't notice that the fuel cheat was on until later, until I saw it didn't go down. And I just thought, I must have just done things more efficiently then. I guess I don't need to do that, but that was the plan. And the worst thing about that is the whole video is possible exactly as I presented it. I just got a bit lazy with the infinite fuel and didn't check. So it sounds like
this could potentially be an honest mistake. So I know you made this as a temporary video, but I was just going back to your apology video that you've kind of uploaded in the interim between the original one and this.
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't want to stay silent. I wanted to address things.
No, absolutely not. There was one bit in that video where you said a lot of you I'm just quoting the transcript here. A lot of you have worked out the tilt wing video wasn't stock, as it used modified config files to get the craft to fly as shown. Some of this was by accident, some of this was intentional.
Yeah, sorry, I mean,
when you say the accident being, is that the triple mun landing?
Yeah, that would be that one. Which, because that was, it's just, I didn't realise, and the whole thing is possible without it, but it doesn't change the fact that it was used.
So that's the only incident where it was an accident.
And I guess you could say that it was in the speed build. I didn't notice that the Rapier engines were modified. I built that with all the...
that was something that was picked up later after the fact.
But then later I realised, oh no, it doesn't fly anymore. So I wanted to make what people were expecting, because I didn't want to change the design too much, because I just built it. The whole point of that video was how I built it. And so if I then use a different design in the...
So if we count the time lapse,
right,
we'll just leave the triple mun landing video alone. Okay. Just focus purely on, we've counted the time lapse and the actual VTOL flight, and we're also counting the Tylo tank. Obviously, these have been proven to be false. Are any of your other videos false? I think is something that's a lot of people are asking.
Yeah, of course, people are going to want to know that. No, thankfully. People have been asking a lot about the ELU video. I get why, because that's, say, one of my most impressive. And I can just say no, haven't. That's all as it is, as it's presented. I can understand completely why people would be doubtful now. So I don't know what more to say other than no.
So okay, so it's just the Tylo and the tilt
I'm really
wing
impressed with
lathe.
the effort that's been gone into debunk, though. Just wanted to say, I mean, it's really impressive because, I mean, obviously it's blatantly in your face when you think about it. Because to those really in the know, I mean, those Rapiers aren't going to take that thing off. But that's what I showed at the end of the speed build. And so I had to if I didn't do that, then it wouldn't be in line with what people expected. And people were really pining for that video. I realised the whole thing has got way out of hand, and none of it should have happened in the first place. But I'm not trying to excuse what I've done. I'm not going to try and convince people I'm right. That's just why I did it. And I feel bad about it, of course.
That's what I mean. Like, it's good that you're so obviously coming out and so open about this. I know. I mean, the KSB community is great, and I really respect it. And of course, I wouldn't be here without it. And they're really supportive and interesting, and they're really creative. And so I've always liked to inspire them with my crafts, and I wouldn't want to really turn them all against me. I really hope that they can still see that No, and I would
there are
like.
other
I don't
things.
want this to initiate a witch hunt,
Yeah.
or
I mean, after
anything
all,
like
the entire
that.
speed
I mean,
build-
you're not. I'm not trying to say you're a bad person. You're clearly very good at the game, and obviously,
Thanks.
let's face it, we're talking about faking a Kerbal Space Program craft. It's not like you've
I mean,
raped anyone.
Yeah, I haven't broken federal law or anything.
No. But the outcome of faking these videos, this is a negative
I'm-
thing that's resulted from this. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been over this now, but now it's come out that these videos we mentioned here were fake. You must now be aware that people are going to question every single video you post
Yeah.
from now on, and every single video you've posted in the past.
With good
If
reason.
you had to say one thing to those people that would say that, like, they're just like, oh, I don't know about this hazardish guy.
Well-
what would you say to them?
I would say, well, good on them for caring so much and really caring about the content they're receiving. I think they shouldn't just blindly admit it and blindly accept it and everything. And of course, they've got good reason to be skeptical. But I can say that everything I can do is going to be stock from now on. And also, I mean, I mentioned in my little video on my channel that I'm going to be releasing all the craft files from future videos now, because I should have been doing that ages ago. And of course, if I was in the habit of doing this, none of this would have happened. So.
Not
And then
sharing craft files isn't an admission
No,
of
that's
guilt.
not-
I don't want
that's-
people to have that impression either,
that's
because
not-
sometimes people are just, a little bit personal
Yeah,
about
some
their
people
crafts.
just
I
like to
don't
keep
share
things to
my
themselves.
space station videos.
Yeah,
for
I'm
example,
fully
with craft
aware,
files.
but definitely some of them I didn't. At first, I didn't share them just because I thought I'm happy with my designs. People should. But that's partly how I learned, just sort of building and testing on my own. I didn't download
No,
other
yeah, I
people's
always
craft.
encourage people to not
But-
learn from
But
downloading
definitely,
craft files
yeah,
either. But
definitely getting into the habit of not sharing them only would have encouraged me to think no one would know if I fudge this a little, and that's obviously awful. And
well, I think in your case,
Yeah.
with what's happened, it would probably work a lot more in your favor if you did. But to anyone watching, I think, well, I want to give the message that, if you see a video with that craft file, that video is fake. I don't want to say that, but yeah. Okay. I think we've covered everything that we needed to cover, really.
yeah,
This
I just-
obviously,
I just really
Go on.
hope. I don't know. I really hope people give me another chance. That's all I want to say, really, because I've got plans for other videos, and they're all stock and normal. I really want to do other stuff. I want to continue. I hope people can look past this.
I hope so too. I think now this is obviously, I'm hoping now that this is kind of the hatchet has been buried, we can all move forward in
Let's hope
this.
so.
And yeah, obviously we want everyone to continue making videos and things, but when we see things like this happen, it's hard to just not say anything, because
No, I completely understand why you spoke up, because especially I didn't really consider at the time how much it was not just make me look good, but how much it would make other people sort of their accomplishments seem less important in compared to something else. I didn't really think about that, and you raised a really good point in your video about that. It's certainly not fair. So, yeah, I really, really am sorry for everyone who was misled by what I did and who feels sort of cheated.
well, okay. I think that's I think you've put it very well. And again, this obviously huge applause and kudos to you. This is obviously everyone, like, coming on my channel like this is going to be must be quite a nervous thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame this is our first collaboration, but
Yeah. Well, hopefully it won't be our last. So
yeah, hopefully, yeah.
okay. Well, I look forward to then seeing your future content. I hope that you do continue
Yeah,
uploading. I will
I'm
continue
still-
to be
I've
a
got-
fan and supporter of your channel.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm still planning on it.
All right, it's been great talking to you.
Yeah, you too, actually. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk on your channel. It means a lot.
Well, I think it's important that we hear both sides of the story, and now
Yeah.
everything is complete. I think everything else has been put to rest.
Yeah. I just hope people can really put things in perspective and consider everything before they make some rash judgments.